Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, I am going to be doing a reading and energy update for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and get started today by shuffling the Energy Oracle Cards deck. I also just want to give a huge thank you to each and every one of you here listening. This is especially on my mind as we are entering this brand new year of 2024. Thank you so much for being a co-creator, part of our beautiful soul tribe on YouTube for this past year. So right away, as I was shuffling, I pulled the Journey card. So this could represent someone traveling or going on a trip. I'm also hearing that for someone listening, this could actually represent shifting through different timelines or dimensions. So I will be getting into that later on. But right away, my guides are bringing through that for someone listening, you may feel as though your energy levels have been really depleted. Even your physical body might feel a little bit depleted at this time. I'm also hearing that in general, you may be experiencing a lot of what we would refer to as ascension symptoms through your physical body. And I'm getting the comparison of when you watch a fictional movie on time travel. And very often after that time traveling event occurs, the human undergoing that will actually feel sick afterwards. And my guides are relating this to the physical bodily symptoms that you can sometimes experience when you are someone who has the ability of being able to shift through multiple different timelines and dimensions very quickly. I'm also hearing that for the person listening, this ability really sets up a strange dynamic in many of your different relationships and connections, not just romantically, but platonically as well, because I'm hearing you are a high priestess. You are like this mysterious, ethereal energy that again has this ability to travel between different timelines and dimensions. And as a result of this, what happens is you might flip into certain timelines temporarily where you are really strongly connecting with certain individuals. This could be romantically in your dating life, platonically, but then all of a sudden, you might feel as though that person is literally slipping out of your reality, or as though that connection suddenly alters or suddenly feels very different, or possibly that the two of you are even disconnected in some really strange way. Now, at times, this isn't permanent. You might feel this effect with someone, and then suddenly it's like it clicks into place again, and you are once again on the same timeline, connecting really effortlessly with each other. Now, again, what the guides are saying about this experience is that these dynamics are happening within your relationships because you are one who is switching through, shifting through timelines extremely fast. And not many people are able to keep up with you. And in fact, some people are very committed to staying tethered to certain lower vibrational timelines that you might be shifting out of. And when you shift beyond a timeline that person is heavily tied to and committed to, this could actually create a kind of disconnect in your connection. Now, wow, a massive download coming out at the beginning of this reading. Thank you to all of you who are actively co-manifesting these downloads and pieces of information coming through. And of course, if you would like to contribute your energy in a more powerful way, I do recommend liking the video and subscribing to the channel, as these are forms of energetic transference that do tend to allow me to pick up more easily on you and your energy. What's interesting is right at the beginning of this reading, we pulled the Unawakened card, and I was kind of saving this card for when I felt it would come into play after that initial huge download. But now with this card, I'm seeing that this very dynamic I've been describing may actually have been happening for you and a twin flame or a very high level soulmate, because this card says unaware, 3D, ego, darkness, your twin flame or soulmate is not ready yet. So it could be that you've experienced this dynamic with a particular person where you have been shifting out of the timeline that you were tied to this person on, but they themselves have still been unawakened, therefore at a lower level of vibration that has been keeping them attached to that lower vibrational timeline. And I'm getting that when you are around this person or more closely tied with them in the physical, you might feel a kind of heaviness around their energy, because the heaviness that you're actually feeling is you intuitively sensing that because this twin flame or soulmate is very heavily tied to a timeline you've expanded out of, they are subconsciously trying to hold you or pull you back into that same lower vibrational timeline, which of course feels like heaviness from your perspective because you've already expanded beyond it. And I'm hearing hold on to your expansion. I'm also seeing a flamingo, so that could be symbolic for someone. Of course, do keep in mind that I tend to channel different specific details, names, etc. during these readings whenever they do come through. But those details are typically meant for certain individuals or small groups of people. So if they don't resonate with you, that doesn't mean that there is not a message here for you. It might simply mean that you are just not resonant with that hyper specific group. Okay, so I want to know more about this quote unquote unawakened twin flame or soulmate. It's interesting because I keep getting door imagery, like someone knocking on the door. And here we have door to romance in the upright position. So it's almost someone here who wants to knock on your door or wants to open something up between the two of you. The word regret is coming up here. So this may be someone feeling in a deep regret at this time, specifically with the temple path reversed, because they are feeling as though they made choices or decisions that put them in a position of being very out of alignment with their highest soul's path. And I'm getting that especially if you are listening near the end of 2023 or at the beginning of 2024, then it could be that because we are starting this new year, this particular person has been heavily reflecting on this past year of their life in a way that they don't normally reflect. And through these reflections, they are realizing that they have acted in ways, or I just keep getting they made specific key decisions, and they're almost seeing this montage of flashbacks of the decisions that they made that led them to this point of, again, being off track in the sense of being out of alignment with their higher soul's path here. This person, the word purposeless is coming out, like they feel purposeless or they feel lost on a higher spiritual level. But again, there is that regret pushing them to desire to, I'm hearing, to make things right or to open some kind of door with you here. Now, I want to get some direct messages from this particular person. And of course, right at the bottom of the deck of the Burning Heart Love Oracle, which by the way is one of my new decks, I figured that since we are beginning a new year, I would freshen up some of the decks that we use for these readings. So if you notice some new names of different decks, that is because I am updating these reading videos with some fresh messages here. So this card says, I regret what I did to you. And right after that card, we have, I want to reach out, but don't know how. So there is that word unawakened really standing out here and really connecting with that. I want to reach out, but I don't know how. So it's almost like someone who is or has been in a state of deep unconsciousness, who is beginning to wake up here, but still in a very unawakened state of being, still living very largely in this kind of darkness or in their ego, or very attached to this lower vibrational timeline that they're on. And yet this sense of regret is kind of stirring them in their spiritual sleep here. And at a very conscious level, it's making this person want to reach out to you. And I'm hearing they have to be the one to do it. So if you're hearing this message and you've been sensing that something is stirring or shifting within this person's energy, and possibly because of the shifts that they are making, or because of how heavily they are in regrets, or how much they are considering reaching out to you, this can actually have the effect of quote unquote manifesting you into their life, meaning consciously or unconsciously, this person may be causing you to feel the pull towards them because of the amount of energy that they're sending you. But the guides are really emphasizing that this person must do the inner work to come to the place to come forward clearly and correctly with their communication towards you. Because if you were to attempt to be that communication bridge for them, the outcome would be counterproductive to their own growth and expansion into further awakening and expansion beyond this lower vibrational timeline that they've been connected to, that, as we said earlier, you can no longer regress back into because you've been called on to your own expansion. I'm seeing the visualization of leaves, so that could be symbolic for someone. This could also represent summertime, possibly even summer of 2024 being a really pivotal moment in your life or in this connection. I'm hearing manifestations coming to fruition. So even outside of the relevance to this specific connection, it may be that for some of you listening, summertime will be a time when you will begin to really see the evidence of certain core intentions that you've been putting out into the universe. So I know that was a bit of a side message, but we also have the card Have Faith and Jump In. So I see the card Jump In really directly tying to this highly charged manifestational energy that we've been describing. I'm hearing that for someone listening, you have been guided recently to take a leap of faith, because for the last few days, I just keep getting the download. And the download goes something like this. It is: the universe rewards acts of bravery coming from a soul-aligned place. And what I'm getting from that download is that many who are connected in with this collective have been recently feeling the pull toward, I'm hearing possibly some kind of new direction or new way of creating or sharing or working or going about things. But it's a new direction that fulfills an old dream. So I don't know who this is for, but it may be that someone is revisiting a dream or goal that they actually had when they were a child, or they are revisiting some kind of passion or something they loved doing when they were very young, but they are being guided to reapproach that subject or that dream in an entirely new way. And I'm hearing that because of the spiritual awakening you've gone through, because of the energetic upleveling that's occurred within you, even if you are revisiting a dream that feels as though it's been in your heart for a really long time, know that you are bringing an entirely brand new energy to the table here when it comes to manifesting that dream. Therefore, the results that you receive and how quickly you receive them will be entirely different because of the shift in your energy, because you infuse your energy into whatever you do or create, and it's your energy that has gone through the transformation here. So listen to those intuitive nudges. But I've also been hearing that along this path of possibly revisiting old dreams or passions, creating in new ways, but new ways that are fulfilling intentions or dreams that you've had in your heart for a really long time, possibly even since you incarnated at birth into this physical body. But as you go about doing this, the universe is going to be giving you guideposts. That's what my guides were calling them. These are signs that are going to help to keep you on track. Now, I could do an entirely separate podcast video just on these so-called, we'll call them signs from the universe that you're on the right track. Do let me know in the comments if you want more on that topic. Of course, from a quantum perspective, energetically speaking, there's no right or wrong. These are just labels. But when I use those labels, what I mean is right being more in alignment with your core soul essence, your core soul intentions, and the opposite of that being doing things that are very out of alignment with who you are at a core level. So just briefly in this video, and again, this could be an entirely separate podcast, but when you are living in alignment with your true soul frequency, with your true core essence, one of the signs that you will receive from the universe is this influx of new energy into your life. In fact, this is one of the earliest signs. You will simply feel lighter. You will feel this sense of passion, this sense of exhilaration, especially during or after participating in these specific activities or things that are connected to those soul intentions. In connection with this, you will find that everything in your life seems to point you back to that direction eventually. What is meant for you will never be able to evade you or escape you. And time really is not a factor here, because you could spend months or years trying to walk away from that thing, whether it's a relationship that's meant for you, whether it's a certain calling, a hobby, a passion, a business, whatever this is for you, you could walk away from it for months or years. And you will always feel as though no matter how long you are walking away from it, you are going in a circle. Not in a negative sense, like I can't get away from this thing in a negative way, but in the sense that you always feel your heart space, your heart center pulled back there. And you will even find that certain people or conversations or things that pop up in your life seem to, in the most impossibly synchronous ways, connect you back to that person or thing, because it's simply a part of who you are at a core level. It's part of what we would refer to as your soul's blueprint. So at times, another sign here is the universe will unconsciously use other things, circumstances, environments, and even other people unconsciously in your life will be used as messengers to remind you of that dream or goal. So for example, if you have, let's say, a passion for music and you try to walk away from it and not pursue it or create in that direction, you might find that even after months or years, you have certain people in your life asking, hey, do you still create music? Or I remember when you created music and it was so beautiful. This is just one example, but it's almost as though when something is meant for you, the universe literally will not let it escape you. It will not let you forget about it, because really the universe is you. It's a reflection of your internal world. And on your internal world is this blueprint of your life that was meant to include that thing. So again, everything will point you back in that direction. But in taking these leaps of faith, well, I guess the thing I was about to say is sort of in that statement, but we also have the card have faith. And this card says it's not always easy to have faith and trust that everything is going to be okay. Yet still you must do exactly that, because when you have faith, your life will begin to flow in magical ways that you never imagined were possible. And I'm hearing that as you jump in, as this other card says, take a chance on those nudges, those feelings of pull towards your dreams or goals, and allow yourself to take it a step at a time, living fully present in the moment, doing the next thing that feels deeply inspired and feels like it's coming from that passionate place within you. As you do that, the word magical is coming out so strongly on what the outcomes are going to be from that, because you are going to experience a coming together of circumstances, opportunities, people, things that will quite literally seem magical or unreal to you at some level. But it's not unreal. It's very real. It's the natural response of this material world to you, the creator of your world, when you are acting in true alignment with your own self, with who you really are at a deeper core level. So wow, I did not expect to get into all of those messages in this reading. This has definitely gone a bit of a different direction than I was expecting it to, but I do want to continue channeling a bit more about this so-called unawakened person who's really in your energy at this time. Now, if you were resonating with those spirit guide and higher self messages, we could call them, then I will be channeling more for you in the extended version of the reading on Patreon. So we will be discussing your dreams, your goals, your manifestations, especially in this upcoming new year, and any other messages from your guides or higher self regarding those things at this time. So as always, the link to the extended Patreon reading is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. But I am now going to be pulling a card from the Rose Oracle, which is another new deck that I've received. Now, this is created by the same beautiful creator of the Starseed Oracle, and her name is Rebecca Campbell. Because I have so adored the messages in the Starseed Oracle deck for so many years now, I thought it would be only a positive additive to these readings to have another one of this creator's decks. So let's see what the Rose Oracle has for our beautiful collective today. And a few cards really wanted to make themselves known there. They jumped out of the deck. But here we have the Breathing Rose, heart healing, emotions, connection, time eases. We also have Brothers of the Rose, sacred masculine, honor, protection, support. I am literally getting goosebumps all over from this specific card. So I do feel I'm going to read a guidebook message specifically from Brothers of the Rose. Right away, what I'm getting from that Brothers of the Rose card, I'm hearing the name Celine or the letter initials CELINE, possibly the letter initial A as well. I'm also seeing something about the sign of Scorpio, Taurus, or Aries. That could be someone's sun, moon, or rising sign here. But I'm feeling something massive in my heart space, like a shifting and opening of energy. And I feel as though specifically if you are a divine feminine listening here, which of course these labels, divine masculine and divine feminine, are meant to describe energy dynamics. So we all have a balance internally of the divine masculine and divine feminine. And we can also connect to these energies in external forms as well. And I always recommend using your own intuition as a compass, guiding you through all of those messages that come through. But what I'm getting is that, again, if you are a divine feminine, especially, you are attracting in a lot of divine masculine, physically embodied support at this time. And at the bottom of the Energy Oracles deck, we have the Sun card, which is very representative of new beginnings. We also have man holding a heart in the reverse position. Wow. Okay. So I'm getting a powerful message that for a divine feminine here, you may have had this divine masculine counterpart. This could have been a twin flame. This could have been a soulmate who closed off their heart to you or was in this very unawakened state of being. And as a result of that, they may have remained tethered to a lower vibrational timeline, whereas you expanded beyond it. So I see there may have been some kind of 3D disconnect, some kind of what we refer to as a physical separation. And you may have felt as though in the 3D, you were very much out on your own. For some of you listening, you might still feel this way, just depending on where you are in the current waves of energy. But I'm getting that when this masculine's heart was closed to you or in the 3D, and for some of you, it might still be closed in that way. But during that time, you've felt very alone. You've felt very unsupported, which is why the universe has sent in a new form of masculine support system in your physical 3D life. Now, for some of you, these could be entirely platonic situations. This could be coworkers, a boss, family members, even friends. For others of you, this could be a new masculine love interest sent into your life to support you, or even multiple romantic options or masculines who would be interested in being romantic with you, regardless of course, whether or not that was something you personally desire, because you are the conscious creator of your life. So you have the power to make all of those decisions about what people physically you want to build those 3D relationships with. But I do see the universe sending you a great deal of masculine support. Now, for some of you, this may have actually been something that's been ongoing for the past several months or years, when you've been feeling this support coming in, this physical embodiment of masculine support coming into your life. And I'm hearing part of the purpose of this has been teaching you to heal your internal masculine energy so that you are able to support yourself. And in doing so, approach love and relationship from a more balanced, centered, and self-fulfilled place of being that is actually rendering you highly magnetic for receiving love and support and admiration on the external plane as well. So it's almost like these masculines have been called in for support, for protection, but also teaching you how to strengthen your internal divine masculine so that you can support yourself and heal your own heart, because we also have the breathing rose, heart healing, emotions, connection, time eases. So I feel as though there may be something that's been weighing on your heart or your throat chakra that is asking to be released or asking to be expressed. And I'm hearing that if you've been wondering, I'm hearing someone saying like, what's wrong with me because I'm feeling so emotional or I'm feeling so broken in certain aspects. Now, this won't be for everyone. I feel I'm just speaking to a small group, but if there have been moments where you felt this way, know that nothing needs to be fixed as much as it needs to be expressed and allowed, because you are this beautiful divine being of light and love, and you are constantly processing emotions, energies subconsciously. That is just the intelligence of your being that is constantly healing, mending, growing, evolving, expanding. And that is such a beautiful thing. So very often, all that needs to happen on the conscious side of things is for you to facilitate that natural healing, shifting, opening process in your body or in even your emotional body by providing or creating some kind of an avenue to release those pent up emotions as they come up for you, to continue again facilitating that expansion process. And I'm hearing that for some of you, there may be literal tools or creative outlets or avenues that you utilize personally to express the emotions coming up for you to the surface. And those things are so incredibly powerful to your soul's path at this time because, again, they are constantly facilitating this clearing out of your energy, this expansion of you into a higher version of self. And I'm getting that some of these tools may on the surface look like small or insignificant things. They may be things you do that you've been taught not to prioritize by society or by your upbringing. But they are so important to prioritize because whatever that is for you, again, whether it's something physical, taking walks in nature, yoga, meditation, breathing exercises, creating, doing something that you love, whatever this is for you, this is a way that you release these pent up emotions that are coming up during your natural expansion, opening, shifting process, that natural process that is constantly taking place in your being. And so these physical tools, mediums, or outlets can actually be a really powerful bridge and facilitator of all of that. So, wow, I really hope that this reading has been helpful or beneficial to someone listening. In the extended version of the reading, we will be diving deeper into this energy of this unawakened twin flame or soulmate that, again, you may have felt disconnected from. You may have felt that their heart was closed towards you, but I do sense a powerful shift in their energy, some form of regret, pushing them to want to communicate or reach out, but not really knowing how. The cards were definitely indicating that earlier in the reading. So in the extended version of the reading on Patreon, we will be channeling this person's true thoughts and feelings towards you, as well as future timeline potentials for the connection between the two of you. In addition to that, I will also be channeling anyone or anything else, energetically speaking, that might be connected or attached to your aura at this time. So again, the link to that extended reading with those additional messages is underneath this video. For now, I'm going to be reading one final message from the beautiful Rumi Oracle guidebook. And the Rumi card that I pulled here is Whirling Goddess. So let's see what the guidebook has to say to close the reading. Lose your head. Not a single thread that has a head can go through the eye of the needle. Rumi. And the guidebook also says, you are to let go of any stigma around not knowing. There is somewhere you are meant to be. It is here, now, in this moment. You are at the point of growth where your mind can hold you back rather than urge you forward. If there is an issue, apparently unsolvable or unknowable, in your life now, the divine is handling it. Your heart shall create the steps in response to the music of the spheres happening now, alive and spontaneous and free. Know nothing and dance, sweet soul, for all will unveil itself to you in perfect harmony and timing. Wow, that feels like a beautiful place to close the reading. Thank you so much again to all of you who are tuned in to these collective readings. For those of you who are new here, Welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. I do channel these collective reading videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So of course, I invite you to join us here again for the live premiere of the next reading on Wednesday. But otherwise, I am sending you all huge amounts of love and light today. If you do want to continue on with me now to the extended version of the reading on Patreon, the link to do that is in the pinned comment and description box underneath the video. I am wishing you all an amazing start to your 2024, and I will connect with you here again in the next reading.